So while I was editing this video, I realized I didn't talk about the truck or kind of the symptoms that was going on before we tore it apart. It's a 99 GMC Sierra, it's a work truck. The AC was working, then it went out. We had it die. Couldn't find a leak in the engine bay, so we kind of knew it had to be the evaporator core. So that's kind of where this video starts out. This is not the way to do it. It's a way to do it. The way to do it is remove the entire dash and do it correctly. For a truck that's worth less than what the repair cost would be to get it done, or my time to get it done the right way, I chose to go this route. As you'll see in the video, it's a hack job, and you kind of cut stuff up and glue it back together, but it's the way I chose to go. It ends up working out just fine. So here's the dash, and here's the glove box screws you're going to have to remove. There's 3 of them across the front. I'm using a 9/32. And when you open this up, there's going to be a tab back here in the back. You just kind of push it over and the glove box will fall out. After you take the bolts out, you can just pull it off. So I'm going to get that done real quick and then we'll remove the glove box. This is where we need to get to cutting. Gotta cut all this out. There's bars in the way. This one may be able to stay actually. I saw some people were cutting all that up too. But if you cut all that out, you won't have anything to screw the glove box back into, so I'm going to try to leave that alone. If I need to, I'll weld that bracket back in. We'll see how that goes. I gotta remove this little shroud underneath here. I say little, it's humongous. I gotta remove that. I think it's just a couple bolts or clips. There's 2 screws. Down here, there's 1, 2 that I've found. I think the rest are just clips. They're 9/32 again, it looks like. And I'll remove this big tray under here. Alright, so as you can see, I stabbed my utility knife in this. Got a brand new blade. And it's actually cutting. So I'm going to try to just go nicely down the line, nice and slow, and cut this whole part out of here. Well, it definitely cut through. I cut this flange right here. That'll be kind of tough, but I think I'll be able to do it. I'm trying to come across the bottom now. Trying to cut my thumb off. I don't want to cut this off yet because I want to take this, see if I can take this piece out in one piece, slide it out of the way, and see how much of this I actually have to cut. Because one of the mounting holes for the glove box is here, here, and here. So if I can only cut it here to here, I can still have all 3 mounting holes. So I'm going to leave it and see what I can get away with first. Don't think I'm gonna be strong enough to do this part. I'll have to get the oscillating tool for that. I will be right back. So there's this little flange where it bolts together right here. I'm going to cut that because the razor blade just couldn't quite get through it. Just using a cheap oscillating tool, Harbor Freight brand. It works pretty good for everything I do around the house, so see if it works here. I think that went through. I'm going to cut along this edge here, this front edge, because it goes back. Use the razor blade. I'm going to cut all the way down to the bottom where I made my cut down here. So I already cut across there. It's cut all the way up through here, and it cut to the top of this like arc up here. So hopefully I can get them all connected and see if we can take this off in one big piece. So I'm going to use the oscillating tool to cut that flange right there again. And I guess the reason I don't like using the oscillating tool for cutting the whole thing is the razor blade doesn't really remove any material, it just cuts it. Using the oscillating tool, it makes a fairly large gap. I mean, it's the thickness of this blade. So when you go to tape this all back together, you're going to lose all that. So I'm hoping doing it this way, it'll leave less of a gap to have to seal, and it may work a little better, easier to close up when I'm done. Cut this top part, and hopefully this will just slide right out now. There we go. That wasn't terrible. I should be able to just boop that right back on there. I got the plastic cut, and then there's another piece of plastic that just, I guess it's a spacer, goes behind there. And then the piece of metal I cut on one end, and I'm just bent it out of the way, and I'll bend it back and I'll tack weld it when I get out to my shop. But here it is right here. It doesn't look in terrible shape, which kind of makes me a little nervous. Hopefully there's something up with the bottom down here, but we'll see in just a minute. So back here in the back of the engine bay, there's these two nuts. You gotta take it off, take each one of these lines off, and then just back it out. My system's completely evacuated, and hopefully the evaporator comes right out. Alright, so we're gonna yank this dude out of there. There we go. Well, this is soaked with dye, so I think that is our problem. So we'll get a new one and put it on in there. you kind of need a special socket for this, and I don't have it here. So I'm just going to put the 2 nuts that I unscrewed the old one with. You just screw them onto the thread so you can get this stud out. And you tighten them together. Use the open end on the bottom. Get it on there. And then a socket on top. Twist them together. And you just loosen the bottom one. And they'll loosen the stud. It'll come right out. There you go. And then you use the same method to put it on the other one. Pretty easy. I slid it back in there. I didn't have too much problem doing that. You just have to have it right at the right angle. If it's not, you're going to start jamming it and it's not going to go well. I've got the piece of metal back where it needs to go, so tomorrow I'll take it up to my shop and weld that back together. And I'm just trying to decide what kind of plastic glue or silicone or tape to use to cover all this up. So I'm filming the intro and the outro at the same time because I forgot to do both. But it's been about 2 or 3 months since I did the Evaporator Core install. It all has stayed glued together. Haven't had any problems, no leaks, no smells, no noises, no rattles. So if you're thinking about doing it and you have the kind of small set of tools that you need and your truck's not worth the cost of the repair of doing it the right way, I would definitely go this way. Thanks for watching.